All right, let's pick up our lesson from Friday about circles in the coordinate plane. Let's talk about converting between the two forms that we learned about. So the first set of examples is being able to convert from from general form into standard form. They give us a list of directions here, which is a reminder on how we're going to complete the square. If you don't remember how to complete the square, please check for a previous video on how to do so. So the first thing we need to do is our A value needs to be 1. So that first value needs to be 1, and it is. We want to make sure our x's are with x's and our y's are with y's. So this is really supposed to be x squared minus 8x. We're going to say plus y squared. And then this next step says move e to the other side of the equal sign. So minus 7. So I kind of lumped those things into 2 steps there. Then it wants us to complete the square, so we're going to have to remember how to do that. So x squared minus 8x, I'm going to leave a gap. And then plus y squared, and I'm going to leave a gap. And that's equal to a negative 7. And I'm going to have no space, but I'm going to have 2 gaps here as well. I'm just going to add them to my list. So what goes in this spot, remember, is b divided by 2 squared. So negative 8 divided by 2 is a negative 4. Negative 4 squared is 16. And when I add to one side, I have to add to the other. Y squared doesn't have a b term. So when I take half of 0 and square it, I'm still going to get 0. Remember, we want to factor these 2 different sets of equations here. So I want to look at this first quadratic equation and factor it, and look at this second one and factor it. So this is a perfect square trinomial. This is going to become x minus 4 squared plus y squared is equal to 16 minus 7, which is 9. And I then have, see if I can change the lighting so you can see my pencil marks here. That's a little bit better. All right. So we've changed it from general form to standard form here. Okay. Well, now that it's in standard form, we can identify our center and our radius. Remember that your center is that h in your k, and then this is your radius. So that's h, that's k, that's r squared, right? So my center is really 4, 0, and my radius is 3. Let's do this again. So I'm going to put my x's with x's, x squared plus 4x. I'm going to put my y's together, plus y squared minus 6y, and we'll move the constant to the other side. We want to complete the square, so x squared plus 4x, a little bit of a gap, y squared minus 6y, a little bit of a gap, equals 3. And remember, what we do on one side, we have to do on the other. So we're going to factor these. So this is going to become, half of b divided by 2 squared, so plus 2. This is going to be negative 6 divided by 2, negative 3, plus 9. And what you do on one side, you have to do on the other. So we get to rewrite this. So this is x plus Why did I... Oh, look, I messed something up. Half of 4 is 2. 2 squared is 4. So this should also be 4 here. Alright, so this is plus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared. And 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 9 is 14. So this is the standard equation of our circle, and we can identify our center and our radius. So our center is at -2, 3, and our radius is at the square root of 14. Oh no. Oh man, I didn't, okay. So I changed the 4 on one side, so I needed to change it over here. So that's really 7 plus 9, which is 16. And this is the square root of 16, which is 4. Alright, so to recap my mistake, I'm supposed to take b and divide it by 2. Well, 4 divided by 2 is 2. I forgot to square it. 2 squared is 4. So that's plus 4 and plus 4, which helps me better find that radius. There we go. Alright, let's wrap it up here with one more, going from general to standard. So I'm going to put my x's together, and that's minus 16x. I'm going to put my y's together, plus 2y squared, plus 4y, and I'll move that to the other side. Now, what's happening here is my a value needs to be 1, so we're going to divide if needed. Well, since it's a 2, I'm going to divide everything by 2, so I can get back to an a value of 1. So this is going to be x squared minus 8x plus y squared plus 2y equals a -10. Everybody has to happen. It's like factoring out a GCF. Okay. So we'll go to complete the square now. What we add on one side, we have to add on the other. Okay. Half of 8 is 4. Negative 8 is -4. -4 squared is 16. Half of 2 is 1. 1 squared is 1. Okay. So this is x minus 4 squared plus y plus 1 squared is equal to, let's see, 16, 17 minus 10 is 7. Here's our center. Here's our radius. Our center is at 4, -1, and our radius is the square root of 7. Okay, which if we were to graph this, the square root of 7 is approximately 2.6. So somewhere between 2 and 3. Right. That's going from general to standard. And there's plenty of practice there in those pages of your packet. Let's do one last example. Let's go the other way. Let's go from general, or let's write a general form equation. So let's go from standard to general. Well, when it's in standard form, we have these two squared pieces. Well, what does it mean for something to be squared? It means that I get to multiply it twice. So I'm going to rewrite this. I'm going to say x minus 4 times x minus 4. I'm going to rewrite this as y plus 3 times y plus 3. And we're still adding those together, and it equals 36. So I'm going to multiply it out. To get to general form, I'm going to multiply it out. So this is going to be x squared minus 4x plus 16. plus y squared plus 3y plus 3y plus 9 is equal to 36. So remember, in general form, we have ax squared plus bx plus cy squared plus dx plus e, where e is your constant, and that should be dy. Okay. So I'm going to put my x's with x's and my y's with y. So this is going to be x squared minus 8x plus y squared plus 6y. And then I have 16 and 9 to combine. So that's plus 25 equals 36. But in order for it to be in general form, my equation has to equal 0. So I'll subtract the 36 to get a negative 11. Yep. So this is my general form, and I've converted to it. So those are the examples for today's lesson. Go ahead and practice how to convert between those forms.